morning. We're here at the Edgewood short game area. Greg and Tom, today's focus is going to be on short game, kind of chip and run, pitching, and more lofted wedge shots around the greens, which is very important. But before we get into the technical part, let's talk a little bit about this wonderful area we have here. It's pretty unique to the Fargo Park District courses. Greg, when did it open, and how has it kind of evolved?
Well, you know, it came about, obviously the Webb family wanted to do something for their Judge Webb that passed away. It's kind of morphed into a great little practice facility, opened 3 years ago. I think every day we see a little bit more activity, a little different activity. It's great because it's got a lot of different, as you can see, it's got a great chipping green with a bunker on the other side. It's got some areas around here that maybe aren't always the flat lie, something we don't get to see very often when we practice especially. And then over on the other side, it's got a huge practice putting green that you can hit some chips and some putts on as well. So I think it continues to mature. It's actually in very good shape. As you can see, the grass and the greens are awesome. You get a lot of different lies, you get a lot of different looks. So it is a great way to come and practice your short game. We don't have a lot of these around in our area, and this one is great.
Yeah, anytime you can simulate what the area we're in here, we're going to work today, it almost simulates an approach to an actual hole in the golf course, and that's rare in any type of facility. So we're strongly encouraging the Fargo Moorhead community to come out and use it. It's free.
Yeah, it's free. Anybody can use it. Just bring your own balls. It's a great way to practice.
So let's jump into short game. When you combine putting and the shots around the greens, let's say within 20 or 30 yards, which is kind of where we're going to stay today, it adds up to almost 50 or more % of your score. So while we love having you over on the range for full swing and lessons, this is an area where it can really impact in a positive way. If you learn these shots, you can save shots hole to hole, and your scores will drop accordingly. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to hit your standard kind of chip and run shot. Greg, what do you have there in terms of a club?
I have a utility wedge, and some of them say U out of them, some say gap, some say tack, anything that's probably between your pitching wedge and your sand wedge. All the companies, obviously, in the last 15 years have decreased on the loft on the golf clubs. So now all of a sudden we have that gap between our pitching wedge and our sand wedge. So I've got the U wedge today.
You can see that we've got a little bit more green to work with. We're pitching up the hill. There's maybe 5 or 6 yards of fringe or collar, and then the rest is green. So we don't need to elevate this shot much. We just need to move it forward, get it up in the air enough to get it on the green, and let the ball roll out. A misconception, we don't want the ball to be back when we're in a closely mown area. We want the ball to be center or slightly forward. And so Greg's getting into that position. I call it the 3 lefts. The ball position's a little forward. The weight is going to be moved about 65–70% onto that left heel or left hip. And then we're going to lean the shaft forward a little bit. So hands are forward, weight is forward, ball position's forward. And then the motion is basically just an arm swing, almost an extension of a putt. Excellent. So I'm going to introduce, I don't use a ton of teaching aids, but I like the impact ball because it provides some arm structure. We're going to slide it right underneath the elbows between the forearms. It creates a space that's defined, and it keeps both the left and right arms working together. Greg's going to take a couple of practice motions, and notice that it's essentially just an arm swing and a little bit of shoulder rotation. There is no wrist break, so we can just brush that ball right off the top of the grass. Oh yeah, really good sound. Almost hold it. An aid like an impact ball can help you create the feel of what you need to have both arms working together for this little chip and run shot.
If you have any questions that you'd like answered, or if you'd like to take some lessons here at beautiful Edgewood Golf Course, you can please contact us. in the golf shop at 701-232-284. You can follow us on Facebook, fargogolf.net, all those great social media accessibilities that we have in a great Fargo Park District Golf.